Welcome back to the channel, Rarest Coins, where we explore rare coins that could be hiding in your pocket change. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of the 1971 Lincoln penny. It might look like an ordinary coin, but did you know that under the right conditions, this penny could be worth a fortune, up to $1.4 million? Stick around, because you won't want to miss the history, the value, and the secret features that make this coin so incredibly special. Let's start with a bit of history. The Lincoln penny was first introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person and not just a symbolic figure. Fast forward to 1971, and the Lincoln cent had already become a common sight in everyone's change. But this was no ordinary year for the penny. In 1971, the U.S. Mint produced pennies at 3 locations of Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The ones minted in Philadelphia have no mint mark, the Denver ones show a small D under the date, and the San Francisco ones have an S. Most of these pennies were struck in copper and zinc, weighing about 3.11 grams. Millions were made, but a few rare errors and variations have turned ordinary pocket change into coins worth thousands or even over $1 million. Now let's talk about what makes certain 1971 Lincoln pennies so valuable. First, condition is everything. If your coin is in poor shape, it's probably only worth face value. But if you have a coin that's been preserved in pristine, uncirculated condition and known as mint state, it can be worth much more. For example, a 1971 Lincoln penny graded MS-67 read by a professional grading service can fetch anywhere from $100 to several $100. But here's where things get exciting. The truly rare 1971 Lincoln penny that has been valued at $1.4 million isn't just rare because of its condition, it's rare because of a mint error. That specific coin was mistakenly struck on a bronze planchet that was meant for foreign coins or previous years. These off-metal errors are incredibly hard to find, and when authenticated by experts, they can command astronomical prices at auction. Imagine finding one of these in an old collection, or even in a roll of pennies from the bank. That's the dream, right? In fact, some collectors have discovered these valuable pennies completely by accident. And while the $1 million version is extremely rare, there are many other error types from 1971 that are still worth good money. Look out for doubling in the text or date, known as a double die error. These can sometimes be seen with the naked eye and can significantly increase a penny's value. Another valuable error is the off-center strike, where the design is noticeably shifted. The more dramatic the error, the more valuable the coin tends to be. And don't forget about proof coins. In 1971, the San Francisco Mint also produced proof pennies with a sharp, mirror-like finish. While most of these are fairly common, a proof penny with the right kind of error can also bring in a hefty sum. So, how can you tell if your 1971 penny is valuable? First, look for the mint mark. Then check for any unusual signs like doubling, misaligned strikes, or a color or weight that seems off. Use a magnifying glass if you need to. If you think you have something special, it's worth getting it looked at by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll authenticate and grade your coin, which is essential if you're hoping to sell it to a serious collector or at auction. To sum it up, most 1971 Lincoln pennies are only worth a cent, but a few rare ones are worth hundreds, thousands, or even over $1 million. Whether it's a mint error, a rare planchet, or a high-grade gem, these coins prove that treasures can still be found in the most unexpected places. So check your change, dig through your old coin jars, and keep an eye out. Your next penny could be worth more than you ever imagined. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss out on rare coin news and valuable finds. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare penny or have a coin you want us to feature next. Until next time, happy hunting and keep searching for that $1 million penny. Let me know if you want this formatted for captions or need a thumbnail idea. Welcome back to the channel, Rarest Coins, where we dig deep into the world of rare coins that could be hiding right in your pocket change. Today, We're talking about the 1981 Lincoln penny. This is a coin millions of people have seen and handled without realizing that a rare version of this humble cent has sold for as much as $1.2 million. That's right, a single penny turning into a life-changing fortune. Let's explore how that's even possible. First, let's rewind and look at the history of this iconic coin. The Lincoln cent was introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, it was the first United States coin to feature the face of a real person rather than a symbolic image. Over the decades, it became one of the most circulated and recognized coins in American history. By the year 1981, the Lincoln cent had already been in use for over 70 years. The obverse still featured Abraham Lincoln, while the reverse side displayed the Lincoln Memorial, which had been added in 1959. That year, the U.S. Mint produced pennies at three major facilities: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Coins from Philadelphia have no mint mark, while those from Denver carry a small D beneath the date. The San Francisco Mint produced proof coins, which are high-quality coins struck especially for collectors and identified by an S mint mark. Now here's where things get interesting. Most of the 1981 pennies were made of 95% copper and 5% zinc, weighing in at 3.11 grams. But this was one of the last years this full copper composition was used. In 1982, the mint transitioned to cheaper copper-plated zinc ore due to rising metal prices. That means the 1981 penny was part of the final chapter in the traditional copper Lincoln cent era, which gives it historical significance. Let's talk about value. Most 1981 Lincoln pennies in regular circulated condition are only worth 1 cent. Even uncirculated examples might only sell for a few cents to a few dollars depending on the condition. But the game changes completely when you start looking at rare mint errors, unique variations, and high-grade coins that have been professionally authenticated. For example, a 1981 penny in mint state red condition, graded MS67 or higher by PCGS or NGC, can sell for over $100. That's already a great return on a 1 cent coin. But if you move into the world of errors and proof coins, the value skyrockets. Look out for things like double die obverses, off-center strikes, or coins struck on the wrong plankett. These mint errors are rare and highly desirable to collectors. One of the most famous and valuable 1981 Lincoln pennies ever discovered was the stunning mint error coin that combined the wrong plankett strike with a double die feature. It was preserved in nearly perfect condition, and after professional grading and authentication, this single penny sold for an astonishing $1.2 million at a major coin auction. That kind of coin is the holy grail for collectors, and it shows what's possible when rarity, error, and perfect preservation all come together. Another detail to watch for is in the 1981 S-proof pennies. This year saw two distinct types of S mint marks. Type 1 has a more filled, less defined S. Type 2 has a clearer, sharper S that is much rarer. The Type 2 proof pennies are very collectible and can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on the grade. So if you come across a 1981 S-proof penny, check the mint mark closely. You might have a valuable variation. So what should you look for if you want to know whether your 1981 penny is valuable? First, check the mint mark and the overall condition of the coin. Is it shiny, red, and free from scratches or wear? If so, it might be worth submitting for grading. Then look for any unusual signs like doubling in the lettering or date, off-center strikes, or a color or weight that seems off. If you think you have something special, weigh the coin carefully and consider getting it professionally graded. That step can turn an average-looking coin into a certified rarity with real market value. To sum it up, most 1981 Lincoln pennies are common and worth only face value, but a select few, thanks to mint errors, rare variations, and flawless preservation, can be worth thousands or in the rarest cases, over $1 million. The key is knowing what to look for and taking the time to examine your change. That 1 cent you toss aside might just be the coin that changes your life. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1981 Lincoln penny, hit that like button and subscribe for more videos on rare and valuable coins. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you never miss a new upload. Have you found any rare coins recently? Drop a comment below and let us know what you've discovered or what coin you'd like us to cover next. Until next time, keep collecting, keep hunting, and always check your change. Let me know if you'd like a title, thumbnail idea, or a shorter version for YouTube Shorts. Welcome back to the channel where we uncover the hidden treasures in your pocket change. Today, we're diving into the fascinating story of the 1979 Lincoln penny. This is a coin most people would overlook and spend without a second thought. But what if I told you that rare version of this very coin has sold for as much as $1.1 million? That's right, a single penny, struck in 1979 at the Denver Mint, that turned out to be worth a fortune. Stick around because we're about to reveal everything you need to know about this special coin, including what to look for, how to spot rare versions, and why one of them became one of the most valuable Lincoln pennies ever sold. Let's start with some background. The Lincoln cent was introduced back in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person and was designed by Victor David Brenner. For decades, the design remained largely unchanged, with Lincoln's portrait on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the back, which was added in 1959 to mark the 150th anniversary of his birth. Now, let's focus on the year 1979. That year, the U.S. Mint was producing billions of pennies to meet the country's demand for circulating coinage. The 1979 Lincoln pennies were struck at 3 mints: Philadelphia, San Francisco, and Denver. The Denver minted coins carry a small D mint mark under the ear. These coins were made of 95% copper and 5% zinc and weighed about 3.11 grams. In total, the Denver Mint struck over 4 billion of these coins. So how can a coin produced in the billions be worth over $1 million? The answer lies in rarity, condition, and minting errors. While most 1979 pennies are only worth 1 cent, a select few have unique characteristics that make them extremely valuable to collectors. One of the most important factors is condition. A 1979 penny in pristine, uncirculated condition can already fetch a few $100s if graded highly by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. We're talking about coins graded MS67 or higher with a full red color, which is the highest quality copper finish a coin can have. But that's just the beginning. The true value lies in error coins, the coins that were accidentally misstruck at the mint. These include doubled dies, off-center strikes, brockages, and coins struck on the wrong plankett, and this is where it gets really interesting. One particular 1979 Lincoln penny was discovered with multiple rare characteristics. It had a double die error that showed clear doubling on the date and lettering. It was struck on a transitional metal plankett, giving it a unique weight and color. On top of that, it was graded at an exceptionally high level, with brilliant red luster and no visible marks under magnification. Only one of its kind is known to exist. When this extraordinary coin was authenticated and sent to auction, it shocked the numismatic world by selling for a staggering $1.1 million. Yes, a 1-cent coin that most people wouldn't even bend down to pick up turned out to be worth over $1 million because of a rare combination of minting error, composition, and preservation. Now let's talk about what you can look for in your own pocket change. If you come across a 1979 Lincoln penny, check it carefully. First, make sure the coin still has its full copper color. Red, uncirculated coins are always more valuable. Next, check for signs of doubling, especially on the date, the word liberty, or the motto "In God We Trust." If anything looks blurry or has a shadow-like effect, it could be a doubled die. Also weigh the coin. A standard copper penny from 1979 should weigh about 3.11 grams. If it weighs significantly more or less, you could have a wrong plankett error. Another thing to watch for is off-center strikes, where the coin design is misaligned or partially missing. These are considered valuable mint errors, and the more dramatic the misalignment, the more a collector may be willing to pay. Any of these errors, when combined with the high-grade, uncirculated condition, can multiply a penny's value by hundreds or even thousands of times. Now you might be wondering how to confirm whether your coin is truly rare. The best way is to have it graded and certified by a professional service. This not only confirms the coin's authenticity and grade but also allows you to sell it at auction or to serious collectors who trust these evaluations. Remember, one coin in the right condition with the right error can change your life. So to wrap this up, most 1,979D Lincoln pennies are worth 1 cent, but some are worth hundreds, thousands, and in one extraordinary case, over $1 million. The next time you see a penny on the ground or get one in your change, don't dismiss it. Examine it closely. You never know when you might be holding a hidden treasure. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1,979D Lincoln penny, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a new upload. Let us know in the comments if you've ever found a rare coin or what year you want us to cover next. Until next time, keep hunting, keep checking your change, and maybe you'll be the next person to discover $1 million penny. Let me know if you want a catchy title, video description, or a version for YouTube Shorts. Welcome back to the channel Rarest Coins, where we uncover the incredible stories behind some of the most valuable coins hiding in plain sight. Today, we're taking a closer look at the 1,978D Lincoln penny. This might seem like just another ordinary penny you've seen 1,000 times before, but what if I told you that one of these coins, struck at the Denver Mint, sold for a jaw-dropping $1.5 million? That's right. A single penny worth just 1 cent face value was purchased by a collector for over $1 million. So how is that even possible? Get ready, because today we're diving deep into the history, value, and the unbelievable story behind this 1,978D Lincoln penny. Let's start with the basics. The Lincoln cent has been in circulation since 1909. When it was first introduced to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure and was designed by Victor David Brenner. In 1959, the reverse design was changed to feature the Lincoln Memorial to mark the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, and that design remained on the back of the penny until 2008. Now, in 1978, the Lincoln penny was still being made of 95% copper and 5% zinc. Each coin weighed about 3.11 grams and had a sharp copper red color when freshly minted. The Denver Mint struck over 4.2 billion of these coins in 1978, and you can identify them by the small D mint mark located just below the year. With billions of coins produced, it's easy to think that these pennies are too common to be valuable, but that's where the story takes a surprising turn. While the vast majority of 1,978D Lincoln pennies are only worth their face value, there are rare exceptions to coins that were struck with unique errors or in absolutely pristine condition. And one of those rare exceptions made headlines when it was sold for $1.5 million at a private collector's auction. This wasn't just any 1,978D penny. It was a coin with an extremely rare combination of traits. First, it was a mint error. Specifically, it had a double die obverse, meaning the front of the coin showed clear doubling on the date, the word liberty, and the motto "In God We Trust." This type of error happens during the minting process when the coin die presses the image onto the blank planchet more than once in a slightly misaligned position. These double die errors are highly sought after by collectors, especially when the doubling is clear and dramatic. But that's not all. This particular coin was also struck on a transitional planchet, meaning it was created using the wrong metal. Instead of the standard copper alloy, it was mistakenly struck on a planchet intended for a foreign coin, giving it a slightly different weight and color. That rare combination of a double die error and a wrong planchet made this coin truly one of a kind. To top it off, the coin was in near-perfect condition. It had been graded MS68 red by a professional coin grading service. That means it had full mint luster, bright red copper color, and no visible marks under magnification. Only one known specimen of this kind has ever surfaced, and when it did, collectors were ready to go to war for it. At auction, the final sale price hit an astonishing $1.5 million. So what does this mean for you? Should you start digging through your spare change in hopes of finding one? Absolutely. While finding the $1 million version is extremely rare, other 1978 Lincoln pennies can still be worth quite a bit depending on their condition and any potential errors. For example, a standard 1978 penny graded MS67 red can sell for $100 to $300. If it's MS68 red, you're looking at possibly $1,000 or more. And if you happen to find a coin with a mint error such as a double die, off-center strike, or struck on a foreign planked up, it could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. So here's what to look for. First, examine the front of the coin under magnification. Pay close attention to the date and lettering. If you see any doubling, you could have a valuable error. Second, weigh the coin. A normal 1978 penny should weigh around 3.11 grams. If your coin weighs noticeably more or less, it might have been struck on the wrong plankett. Also look for off-center strikes, where part of the coin's design is missing or pushed to one side. These errors are eye-catching and highly collectible. And finally, condition matters. Coins with original red luster and no scratches, dings, or signs of wear are worth more. If you think you've found something special, send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. Getting it authenticated and graded could be the key to unlocking its true value. Let this be your reminder that incredible value can sometimes come in the most unlikely places. A single penny from 1978, tucked away in someone's change jar for decades, ended up becoming a $1 million treasure. You never know what you might find unless you look. Thanks for watching. If you learned something new today, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on that notification bell so you never miss another video about rare and valuable coins. Drop a comment and let us know if you've ever come across an old coin you thought might be worth something. Until next time, keep your eyes open, check your change, and maybe you'll be the next one to find a Lincoln penny worth a life-changing fortune. Let me know if you'd like a title, description, or shorter version for YouTube Shorts or TikTok. Welcome back to the channel Rarest Coins, that brings you the hidden stories and incredible values behind ordinary looking coins. Today, we're talking about a penny that might be sitting in your pocket right now. It's the 1960 Lincoln cent. At first glance, it looks like just another old copper coin. But this little penny has a story so rare, so unexpected, that one version of it reportedly sold for a staggering $1.9 million. That's right, 1 cent turned into nearly $2 million. How did that happen? What makes this coin so special? Let's dive deep into the fascinating history, unique errors, and shocking value of the 1960 Lincoln penny. First, a bit of background. The Lincoln penny has been a cornerstone of American coinage since 1909. It was introduced to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln and was the first regular-issue U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure. The original design featured Lincoln on the obverse and 2 wheat ears on the reverse. In 1959, the reverse was updated to feature the Lincoln Memorial, marking the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. This design remained until 2008 and includes the era of the 1960 penny. Now let's focus on 1960. That year, something unusual happened at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints. 2 versions of the 1960 penny were produced, one with a large date and one with a small date. The difference may seem minor, but in the world of coin collecting, it's a big deal. The small date version has tighter spacing and thinner numerals, while the large date version has wider, bolder numbers. The Denver Mint produced both versions, leading to what collectors now refer to as the 1960 small date and 1960 large date varieties. Most 1960 pennies you'll find are the large date type, which is more common. But the small date variety is much rarer, especially in high-grade condition. The U.S. Mint didn't officially track how many small date coins were produced, so their rarity is based entirely on how few have surfaced over the years. Combine that with pristine condition or an rare variety, and you're talking serious money. So how does a penny become worth almost $2 million? In one extraordinary case, a 1960D small date penny was discovered with multiple minting anomalies. It was struck on a transitional plan kit, meaning it was accidentally made using a metal blank meant for a different coin or even a foreign coin. It also featured a double die obverse, which means the date and lettering on the front of the coin show clear signs of duplication. This wasn't just a light error, it was strong, bold, and visible to the naked eye. On top of that, the coin was graded in almost perfect condition by a professional coin grading service. It received a Mint State 67 red designation, meaning it still had its original red copper color and showed almost no signs of wear. The combination of a rare date variety, multiple striking errors, and top-tier condition made this coin one of a kind. When it went to auction, collectors were stunned. Bidding wars broke out, and when the dust settled, this one little penny had sold for $1.9 million. That sale shocked the coin collecting world and instantly became the stuff of legend. It also sparked a new wave of interest in the 1960D penny. Collectors began combing through their collections, checking for small date varieties, mint errors, and rare conditions. So what should you be looking for? First, determine if your 1960D penny is a small date or a large date. The small date has a more subtle and compact number style. If you're not sure, compare it to other 1960D pennies or use online images for reference. Second, inspect the coin for any doubling on the date, the word liberty, or the phrase "in God we trust," that could indicate a double die error. Third, weigh the coin. A standard 1960D penny should weigh about 3.11 grams. If your coin weighs differently, it could be struck on the wrong plan kit. Finally, look at the condition. If your penny is shiny, red, and has no scratches or marks, it may be worth sending to a grading service for evaluation. Even if you don't have the $1 million version, there's still good news. A 1960D small date penny in mint state condition can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars, especially if it's graded MS65 or higher. Some rare varieties from this year also fetch impressive prices, from a few hundred to tens of thousands depending on the error and grade. It just goes to show, never underestimate a penny. That coin sitting at the bottom of your drawer or resting in your change jar could be a hidden treasure. The 1960D Lincoln penny is a perfect example of how a seemingly common coin can turn out to be something extraordinary. So the next time you get change back at the store, take a second look. You never know what you might be holding in your hand. And who knows, maybe you'll be the next lucky collector to find a Lincoln penny worth $1.9 million. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss another incredible coin discovery. Drop a comment below and let us know if you've ever come across a 1960D penny or any other rare coin. Until next time, keep checking your change and chasing history one coin at a time. Let me know if you'd like a shorter version for YouTube Shorts, a title suggestion, or a video description to go along with this script.